Yo, let's talk about Skilla Baby, Detroit's own. This dude was making moves, but then, things got real fast. Just 4 days before all hell broke loose, Skilla was on Instagram Live. He wasn't flexing chains or cash, nah, he was praying. He kept saying he was thankful for my health. And get this, he was asking for blessings for his enemies. Bless my enemies, he said. Wild, right? People were already buzzing about that. Like, did he sense something was coming? Was this a message? The timing, man, it was just eerie. It set a heavy tone for what was about to unfold. That prayer, it wasn't just some random IG moment, it had depth. Think about Detroit. It's a city with a lot of heart, but also a lot of struggle. People face real challenges every single day, so when a rapper, someone from that environment gets vulnerable, when he talks faith instead of just street stuff, that hits different. He wasn't putting on a front, he was laying it bare. His fears, his hopes, his reliance on something bigger. That kind of raw honesty connects with people on a real level, especially those who understand that daily grind and the shadows that can lurk. The reaction was instant. Fans were shook. They were all over social media. Some folks were saying, yo, this dude's got a sixth sense. They thought it was a premonition, like he knew danger was knocking at his door. Others interpreted it differently. Maybe he was trying to send a signal to his rivals, a way of saying, I see you, I know what's up, but I'm still trying to take the high road. The streets talk, and that prayer definitely got them talking. Even pastors started chiming in, discussing faith in the face of adversity. It became a significant moment, way bigger than just a rapper on live. And then the irony hits you like a ton of bricks. Praying for health, thanking God for it. Days later, he's fighting for his life after being shot up, praying for his enemies, asking for them to be blessed. And then boom, it seems like those very enemies, or maybe some new ones, decided to test that faith. It made the eventual shooting feel even more cinematic, more tragic. That prayer wasn't just a passing thought, it felt like the ominous quiet right before a violent storm, a storm that was about to crash down hard on Skilla Baby and shake the Detroit rap scene to its core. So the storm hit. May 22nd, 2025, yesterday, man, fresh. Skilla Baby, whose government name is Trayvon Gardner, found himself in a nightmare scenario. He was caught in a hail of gunfire, ambushed. He was just parked in his black SUV, near the infamous 8 Mile Road and Beach Daily Road, over in Redford Township. That area has a reputation, you already know. They said over 20 bullets, fam, 20, sprayed at his vehicle. They weren't trying to scare him, they were trying to end him. His SUV was torn to shreds. This was a full-blown, calculated hit attempt, no doubt. Now let's talk injuries. Skilla got hit multiple times. He took a graze wound to the back of his head, another graze across his back, one bullet hit his hand. And there were reports he got shot in the legs too. It sounds bad, right? But here's the crazy part, the miracle part. He walked out of that SUV, alive, can you believe that? After all those shots, he was still moving. He was rushed to the hospital, and last we heard, he's in stable condition. He's alert, and doctors expect him to make a full recovery, but best believe he's under tight security now. Can't be too careful after something like this. The police ain't calling this random. Nah, Redford Township PD came out strong. They labeled it a targeted attack. An officer even said, this wasn't random, it was calculated. That tells you everything. They found shell casings scattered all over the roadway, evidence markers everywhere. Someone, or a group of someones, wanted Skilla Baby out of the picture. Badly. They haven't released any suspect information yet, but you know the streets are buzzing, trying to piece together who would do this and why. This wasn't some accidental crossfire, this was deliberate. When cops say targeted, it opens up a whole Pandora's box. It means this wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It means Skilla Baby had enemies, serious ones, people who would plan an ambush like this. They either knew his routine, where he'd be, or they tailed him to that spot. In the rap game, especially in a city with a history like Detroit, targeted points to beef. Old beef resurfacing, new beef escalating. Could it be jealousy over his rising fame? The questions started flying the second the news broke. Everyone's trying to connect the dots. Now let's rewind a bit before the shooting. Skilla Baby was actually trying to do something positive. There was this tragic situation. A 13-year-old kid from the community, Naziah Harris, was murdered. Senseless. Heartbreaking. Skilla, seeing this, stepped up. He made a public offer. He said he'd pay for the entire funeral, cover all the costs. On the surface, that's a commendable move, right? A rapper using his platform and his money to help a grieving family, trying to give back. But sometimes, man, even when you mean well, things can get complicated. Real complicated. This is where that good intention started to sour. Skilla's offer, instead of bringing comfort, apparently sparked drama. It led to disputes within Naziah Harris's own family. Infighting. Reports called it chaos. Skilla, according to some sources, wanted to arrange a public memorial, a big event, a proper send-off for the young man. But not everyone in the family was on board with that vision. Nazia's aunt, for instance, reportedly said they wanted justice first, not a spectacle. You can see how two sides could clash over something so sensitive. It got messy, and you know how it goes. When things get messy offline, they spill onto the internet. The whole situation escalated with social media fallout. There were allegedly leaked text messages, tweets that got posted and then quickly deleted. What began as a gesture of compassion from Skilla Baby turned into a very public, very messy family dispute. And Skilla was right in the middle of it, all played out for the world to see on their timelines. That kind of public controversy, even if you didn't start it, can attract all sorts of negative energy and unwanted attention. So the big question people started asking, especially after the shooting, was grim. Did this whole funeral controversy, this public back and forth, inadvertently make Skilla Baby a target? Did his involvement, even with good intentions, anger the wrong people? It's pure speculation at this point, of course. There's no direct link proven. But in the streets, perception often becomes reality. A good deed that backfired so spectacularly and so publicly, it definitely added another troubling layer to the theories and rumors swirling around why Skilla Baby was ambushed. Detroit's rap scene, man, it's a whole different beast. It's got a legendary history. We're talking Eminem, a global icon, Big Sean holding it down for years. These are major artists who came from the D. But there's always been this other side to it, the undercurrent, the envy that festers when someone starts to shine. The social media beefs that don't stay online, they spill into the real world with real consequences. They even talk about an 8-mile curse. It's a high-pressure environment, a crucible. And Skilla Baby's story, this violent attack, sadly feels like part of a larger, ongoing cycle affecting rising artists in the city. Skilla was definitely on that upward trajectory. He was making noise, gaining serious traction not just in Detroit but on a national level too. There were even whispers, credible ones, that a heavyweight like 50 Cent was taking notice. Supposedly 50 was helping Skilla break into acting. That's a huge look, a potential game changer. A producer who had worked with Skilla mentioned that the rapper's ambition was to be the hope he didn't have growing up. He was striving to be something more, to rise above the circumstances. But the streets, they have a way of pulling you back if you're not careful. When the news of the shooting hit, it was chaos online. But amidst that chaos, there was a massive outpouring of support for Skilla. Prayers, well wishes, shock. And then came the theories. Everyone became a detective. Was it gang-related violence? Some old personal vendetta finally boiling over? Or was it pure jealousy from rivals who couldn't stand to see him win? Some theories were even wilder. People questioned if it could be a publicity stunt, though that seems unlikely given the severity. Or a spiritual test, tying back to that prayer. He reportedly didn't have security with him that night, a tough lesson learned perhaps. So, what's the future hold for Skilla Baby? His manager was quick to shut down any talk of him quitting, emphatically. "Hell no," was the quote. "Music is in his blood." This attack, as brutal as it was, isn't going to be the end of his career, but it has to change a man, right? Surviving something like that, it leaves a mark. Will he move differently now? Be more cautious? Will this experience fuel his music, give it a new rawness, a new depth, or will it cast a long shadow over his ambitions? Skilla Baby survived the ambush, navigating the aftermath, and his future in Detroit's unforgiving rap crucible, that's his next big challenge. The whole city is watching.